I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Board of School Directors to order. Would you all please rise and join me in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I need to inform you that we held an executive session at 6:30 this evening for the purpose of discussing a legal issue and personnel. And Mrs. Laser, would you call the roll? Mrs. Elder? Present. Mr. Howard? Mrs. Kozak? Here. Dr. Laughlin? Here. Mrs. Maines? Here. Dr. Laughlin? Mr. Music? Mr. Farmer? Here. And Dr. Sewell? Here. Thank you very much, Mrs. Laser. Hearing of visitors, part 1 is a time set aside in the meeting for anyone in the audience who wishes to address the board about anything that's on tonight's agenda. There will be another hearing of visitors at the end of the meeting if you care to address the board on any other issue. So if anyone wishes to address the board on anything on tonight's agenda, please come to the podium and state your name and address. Seeing none, I will move for adoption of resolution number 40, which is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held August 20th, 2013, and the committee of the whole meeting held September 10th, 2013. Second. Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. We approve the minutes of those meetings. Any questions or discussion on that motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Those pass unanimously. Solicitors report, Mr. Naples?
No report.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Naples. Legislative report, Dr. Laughlin.
No report, but Dr. George, I will be getting back to you on the legislators' thoughts on the cyber debacle at a later date.
Thank you, Dr. Laughlin. Under Education and Planning, I will move for adoption of Resolution 41, the approval of contracted services for the 2013-2014 school year as listed.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolution number 41. Any questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously. We have an add-on from last week, and those are to approve 2 tuition students for the 2013-2014. Laurel Irving Roeder from Mount Pleasant Township and Madeline Roeder from Ligonier resident. So I move for adoption and resolution number 42.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolution number 42. Questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously. And I move for adoption of resolution number 43 to approve the band trip to New York City. It's an out-of-state trip to New York City from April the 12th through the 15th of 2014. I so move for adoption of resolution number 43.
Second. I have a question.
Yes.
That works with the spring break, so they're not going to be missing school. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
The reason they need this earlier is they want to be able to fulfill the commitments that they want to get there, and so they have to apply for to be in certain programs and what have you. And so the earlier they can get it in, they can lock in their time. And they were worried about if they didn't get it in, they would miss. So, but I'm almost positive they won't miss any school time.
14 and 15.
And next month is the normal month that you approve all the out-of-state field trips, and we will compile that list, and you will approve that next month. This issue was they needed that approval a month earlier.
Thank you.
Is this the first time the chamber choir has gone with them, or is this a routine?
The chamber choir went last year.
Yes, they're trying to do it now more as like a music program with both groups going together.
Any other questions or discussion on the motion?
Is the band practicing on the new field yet, Mark?
They did once, but their practices are scheduled already for Tuesday, Thursday, right after school. We talked to him about it, but he said he'd prefer to stay on his schedule to move the evenings and nights. But we actually like to get them on there because of their shoes. It actually helps being flat sole shoes to compact everything. Truthfully, I learned that from him.
Any other questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor, then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That also passes unanimously. That ends my report, and I'll turn it over to finance with Mrs. Elder.
Thank you. I will combine resolution number 44 and number 45, the treasurer's report and approving the payment of bills, and move for adoption of both of them.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, we adopt resolutions number 43 and, 44 and 45. Any questions or discussion on those motions, on that motion? All those in favor, then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously.
And I move for adoption of resolution number 46, which is to pay for the people who are doing the GLSD 45 evaluation.
Second. It's been moved and seconded, we adopt resolution number 46. Questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That also passes unanimously.
Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Elder. Property and supply, Mrs. Kozar.
Thank you, Mrs. Mans. I move for the adoption of resolution number 47 to approve the change orders to the Greater Latrobe School Authority for the athletic items complex. And they're listed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, we adopt resolution number 47. Questions or discussion on the motion?
I have a question about the tennis court topic. Is that something we didn't budget or didn't figure out we needed, or is it something better, or what's the deal with
The
that?
architect missed it. He just missed the final top that should have been topped. And it just wasn't in the design documents and wasn't picked up in the review. But I think I'm saying the right thing, right?
That's exactly right.
Right. So they had to get the turf all the way across.
So everybody missed that. Contractor missed it too?
No, the contractor only did what was on the documents. I went through this with Kurt and with Hank. Before last meeting, the meeting before.
Any other questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor, then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That also passes unanimously.
That concludes my report, Mrs. Mans.
Thank you, Mrs. Kozar. Student activities and recreation, Dr. Laughlin.
I'd just like to point out that the junior high and senior high football team, the boys and girls soccer, and the field hockey have all used the new field.
Thank you. Community relations, Dr. Zorch.
I move for the adoption of resolution 48, approved memorandum of understanding with the Greater Latrobe Partners in Education Foundation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolution number 48. Any questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That also passes unanimously. Anything else, Dr. Zorch?
Nope.
Thank you very much. Westmoreland Intermediate Unit Liaison, that would be me. I will move for adoption of resolution number 49 to authorize the joint purchasing consortium representative and alternate for the 2014-2015 school year.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolution number 49. Any questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. I also move for adoption of resolution number 50 Permission to advertise jointly as member of the Westmoreland Intermediate Union Joint Purchasing Board for the 2014-2015 school year.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 15. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously also. That ends my report of the IU, and we'll go to EWCTC Joint Operating Committee. Mrs. Kozar.
No.
Thank you. Board Policy PSB Liaison, Mrs. Eller.
Yes, I'd like to move for adoption of resolution number 51 with the following names in the blanks. And these are those names that I spoke to you all about last week when we were handing out the slate of candidates. I'd like to nominate for President-elect Mark B. Miller, who is a school board member at Centennial School District. For Vice President, Charles H. Ballard, who is a member of the East Penn School Board. For Treasurer, Norman M. Hasbrook from the California Area School District. And for the at-large representative, Daniel J. O'Keefe from Northgate School District.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 51, the election of the PSBA officers. Any question or discussion on the motion? All those in favor of electing the officers listed by Mrs. Elder, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. And Mrs. Lazier will transmit that result to PSBA as soon as possible.
Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you. All those years on the nominating committee paid off. Thank you. Thank you. That is my report.
Thank you. Transportation, Dr. Moss.
I'd just like to call the board's attention to the minutes of the last transportation meeting. All the bus companies were represented, and they did not have any issues with our scheduling. We did pretty well. We heard from us, we heard from them, so it was a win-win for everybody. So thank you to Mark, Transportation Committee, and it was a good deal.
Good news. Thank you.
I have just some questions about the transportation. Are we satisfied with the new contract? Are we happy with our bus company?
Real happy.
Yeah.
Real happy.
I see a lot of new buses. Are they new buses?
New buses.
Are they putting the names of the school districts on the buses?
That's coming up.
It's coming.
That's coming up.
I think Mr. Mears could speak to the opening of school, which really was relatively seamless. Moving to a new bus company, oftentimes there's route issues and things of that nature, and there really wasn't any major issues. That's a credit to Mr. Mears and the Transportation Department, as well as Myers Transportation and DMJ Transportation, who really worked very hard this summer to make that transition seamless. So,
Mike, are you aware of the routing software that we have here now? We've got a second generation from what we had before it's even better. And we plot it all, it feeds the kids in through the computer software, the database, puts them in, get test routes, the drivers drive the test routes, they tweak it, and by the time it comes to the parents, it's clean, really clean. Eliminated all that hassle. For 6 years, my wife had to call every day for a month to get the stop moved from around the bend to in front of my house, from a church to the stop sign. They wanted me to get on the bus before the bus came in front of my house and stopped. 6 years I had to fight that. We had none of that anymore. None of it.
We're still going on, and it gives a normal start, which was really good. There was so much work put in by the companies ahead of time. Myers had hired Palm for students to stay with Myers. About 80% of the drivers stayed. And then they married them to their routes. So essentially, they were just driving a brand new school bus with a different name, most of them. But they sat and did the routes with Margie and all summer, went through the routes, put in order they wanted. Now the next step it will take is there's still some final tweaking going on in a couple of places, but the next step we'll take is the drivers are now taking those routes, and if there's any stop they're doing differently in order, they're putting them in their last sequential order, and then we will reload those in so that next year they should come out and make actual real sequence. But there was a lot of work put into those two bus companies to do dry runs and make the drivers find the homes, and it worked. I mean, it went, to me, it was a normal start.
What percentage of our kids ride the bus?
Depends which grade. I would say overall, right, 50, 60.
50%.
Yeah, most in the junior high. The junior high seems to, a lot of elementary parents drive, a lot of high school kids drive. It seems like the junior high kids can just put them on the bus and they just get on the bus. But I'd say probably yeah.
Well, we still have to have a seat for all of them. Whether they're sitting in it or not, which, you know, is the debate we've always gone over.
Right.
You know, so we have to have a bus even though it's half full.
And actually, to your busing age, that all the buses are from 2011 or newer.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it's standardized. They have an intercom system on them that the driver can talk to the entire bus, which is a nice feature. But you're right, they're very, and even the vans from D&J are pretty much all brand new. But you're right, it stands out. And there are both companies are going to put Greater Latrobe underneath for their names so the kids can.
That's the only thing I noticed. I noticed a lot about the bus company.
I think it was more of a time catching up to getting them all here and getting them running. But we just met about that this week, and Mr. Music had brought it up, and they're going to put the name underneath.
I think it's also kind of an introductory piece too. Because people don't even know we changed bus companies. A lot don't know. You know, if you cover that out, they won't know that First Street is no longer, it's a yellow bus. Oh, yeah. You know, see the names on there, and that helps us to identify what's going on if there's an issue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Technology, Mr. Palmer.
Thank you, Madam President. Meeting minutes from our last meeting are attached, and I touched on several items. Our last meeting, and our next meeting is Tuesday, October 8th at 6 here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Superintendent's recommendations, Mrs. Swider.
I'd ask the board to move on resolution number 52, which is the substitute teacher list.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded, we adopt resolution number 52. Any questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor then, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And that passes unanimously also.
And I'd ask the board to move on resolution number 53, which is the support personnel appointments classified. There is quite a lengthy list that you received last week. If anyone has any questions, please.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded, we adopt resolution number 53. Questions or discussion? All those in favor then, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously.
And also, I'd ask the board to move on resolution number 54, which is the support personnel appointments. Again, this list was provided for you last week. It is quite a lengthy list of all of these positions for the 2013-14 school year.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded, we adopt resolution number 54. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously.
And last, I'd ask the board to move on resolution number 55, which is to approve the 2 AmeriCorps positions for the 2013-14 school year.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded, we adopt resolution number 55. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
I think it should be said that last year we had more AmeriCorps representatives, and they were perfectly satisfactory. We were very glad to have them, and they saved us some money and did a great job. And we asked for the same number this year, and we were not allowed to have them. And we got what we could. And so the reduction in number has nothing to do with satisfaction with those we had last year.
I think it was a matter that they became popular, right? And there was not as many to go around. We got in on the ground floor on that and got a lot last year, and all of a sudden a lot of other school districts realized how good they were and what reviews they could be used for, and then all of a sudden we lost. So, it's a shame. Any questions, any other questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor of adopting resolution number 55, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously. Okay, thank you. Any other business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none. Hearing of visitors, part 2 is a chance for anyone in the audience to address the board on any item, not necessarily on tonight's agenda, but any item of interest. If you wish to address the board, please come to the podium and state your name and address. Seeing no one, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved.
I'm ready to go, man.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you so much for your time this evening.